maybe you do have a demon. For many Christians, this is like the final boss of imaginations, high things that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And instead of bringing that thought captive to the obedience of Christ, no, the same way the serpent deceived Eve by his cunning, by his craftiness, it's the same way he corrupts our mind from the simplicity that is in Christ. Simplicity, that's where Jesus said, if your eye be single, then your whole body will be flooded with light. But if your eye be evil, and that light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? Right? It says that they that are after the flesh, they mind the things of the flesh. That means they get their personal opinion through carnality. So even though Jesus said, if the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. Instead of setting your mind on what he says and having your whole body flooded with light, no, you just take off your armor, right? Instead of standing and having done all to stand in the full armor of God, particularly the shield of faith that quenches every fiery dart that comes from the enemy, when he introduces that thought, because he makes that lie make sense, drop our shield, and I probably do have a demon, right? If you really be the Son of God. The devil is that voice that gets you to question the truth of what God says. That's why you need the full armor of God, which is just the truth of the proclamation of the gospel in all of its facets. But when he introduces these things, because we've taught to be carnally minded, because we are taught to evaluate ourselves through our personal feelings, we are taken captive by him to do his will. We come into disagreement with God, in agreement with him by believing those lies, even though they tell you that you're coming in agreement with devils through a bunch of other nonsense. Many people will say, no, I'm spiritually minded. I'm walking in the spirit. Well, then now Paul is a liar, because he says, if you walk in the spirit, you will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. But it is many times because we are fulfilling the lusts of the flesh and we can't seem to get over it. And now we let that evaluation of how come we keep sinning introduce that thought of, well, maybe it's because I have a demon. And instead of recognizing that we are not actually walking in the spirit, we are walking in the flesh and minding the things of the flesh, which is actually what is producing the works of the flesh in us. We are so high-minded to say, no, I know I'm walking in the spirit, so Paul must be wrong. No, the Son did not make me free, and I am not free indeed, so Jesus must be wrong. And then we allow that thought to exalt itself against the knowledge of God, because there's no way that we were wrong. Something else must have come and overpowered the Lord and brought us into bondage.